we're going to talk to Kathy Pointer, Director of Kingdom Care Senior Village, to talk about a little bit about the Senior Village. Ms. Pointer, thank you for being with us. Can we get you off of mute?
Yes, sorry about that. Okay. Thank you for having me today.
All right, and I'm also happy to introduce one of the most vibrant seniors I have met in my entire life, and I've watched her become one and admired how she has transitioned. She's been a real role model for me, and that's Vera Abbott, who's with us as well. And I'm very blessed to say that this is my mother. Wow. Welcome to WIN TV, Miss Abbott.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Miss Abbott was actually, instrumental, Ms. Pointer, for asking me to invite you on, because I know that there are villages all over the city, and I was hoping we'd first start by having you to tell us what the senior villages are and how they operate.
Okay. Well, thank you again for having me today, and good to see you, Ms. Vera. The senior villages is a concept that started many years ago. It actually started in the Boston area, and it's really, the basis initially was kind of members or neighbors taking care of neighbors. It's kind of evolved more into now our goal is to help seniors to age in place, that they may stay in their homes as long as possible through resources, connection resources, through services that the villages provide. And we look at ourselves as just one of many organizations in DC that takes care of seniors, because there's something for everybody. So the village concept is there for seniors who are not ready for maybe a wellness center or a community residence kind of place, but they do want to connect with other seniors, and there needs to be a place where they can get resources. I just believe that not only do seniors deserve the resources, I believe they've earned the right to all the resources across the city, and then being connected to a village, we're able to also provide them with some of that support and a little more hands-on support as well.
And I think one of the things that I've observed, and I want Ms. Abbott to talk about this as well, is that, a lot of your seniors that are involved with the villages are still pretty independent.
Yes.
So they find ways to talk about what their needs are. And then you all are actually, have to go and make sure those needs are fulfilled. And Ms. Abbott, you've been involved with the Senior Village program for many years, actually before we even had a senior village over here in Ward 8. Tell us what you know about senior villages and why you think they're so important.
Well, I can only add that what I call her Reverend Pointer. I hope that's okay. What she said. But through AARP, I became familiar with the villages. And I never joined one until the Kingdom Care Senior Village was established.
And I might add that you were also a founder of an AARP chapter over here in Ward 8. You've always been really sort of on the forefront of making sure that the issues of seniors are expressed, and also, the seniors can speak up for themselves. So, I mean, tell me how you and Reverend Pointer work together to make sure that, services are provided.
Well, I primarily attend the seminars and so forth. When I first met Reverend Pointer, she needed an office space. So I contacted a good friend, Mr. Finest Jones, who's in property management, and they became business associates. And come to find out, I believe they're both from the same hometown in Mississippi. So Reverend Pointer has always been, they're both so delighted that they have the office space. But anyway, that's primarily with the senior. They're always so wonderful with delivering groceries and whatnots for seniors to enjoy, like puzzles and musicals on the video. So I think Reverend Pointer and her colleagues are doing a marvelous job with our senior village. And I
Great.
also, Denise, would like to mention, let's talk about the Congress Heights Senior Wellness Center. That
Mm-hmm.
was established years ago. I called her Mother Williams, the former mayor's mother, Mrs. Williams. And many of us here in Ward 8, we wrote our names on the building structures there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tear the building down, you can see our names written
Wonderful.
on it.
I want
So,
I want to get Reverend Pointer back in really quick
good.
because I want to talk about. I mean, what is what kind of services does Kingdom Care provide in some of the other villages, and why should people reach out to their senior village?
As I mentioned, Denise, I think it's a alternative to some of their support services, or another option rather. And we provide a number of different services. We do have, as you said, a lot of vibrant seniors. So again, they're not ready to really settle in any kind of facility, but it provides an opportunity, whether we're going on trips or we definitely had to transition during COVID, as everybody else did, to virtual activities. So we provide workshops and seminars. We have done a lot of training on Zoom to get our seniors familiar with Zoom. For those who didn't have tablets, we reached out to make sure they get tablets and get the training. For some of our seniors who may be homebound and don't have family members, just doing wellness checks on any given month. And I did see one of our coordinators online. I think last month we made over 100 wellness calls. We're calling them all the time, checking in. What do you need? What kind of support do you need? And I think what's really vital is what you said also, Denise. What the senior village allows us to do is focus on the senior, the individual, because everybody has individual needs. So sometimes we're able, depending on, again, our resources or what we have available, but we can really support that senior. As you said, Ms. Vera, she's very vibrant. It may not need the same thing as all other seniors need, but whatever that is, we're able to provide some of that support. If they're just coming home from rehab or the hospital, we have a limited time, but we will deliver home meals to them. We have a personal chef we work with, and he prepares meals and out delivering today to make sure that if they're home, that we can do that for a limited time as well. Always with everything else is limited by our resources, but we certainly try to meet the needs of our seniors. One last thing I do want to add, when you talk about the village concept, they're all different. And what we try to do is focus on our community, focus on the needs of our members, and not try to model necessarily what we see across the city or nationwide, but really focus on the needs of those that we need to serve.
Quickly, Reverend Pointer, let me also ask you, how are your needs met? Who supports the senior village?
Well, we have lots of volunteers, and not lots, but we have a crew of volunteers. And actually, I wanted to put that plug in. We really need volunteers because the model itself is sustained by volunteers, because we need volunteers to go out and do the deliveries and make the calls and just do the support, all the types of things that are needed. Our initial funding came from Director Laura Newland at then it was the Office on Aging. And they still support us in a great way. We've had some support through, as Ms. Vera said, through Mr. Finance Jones, and a couple of his business partners got together and they gave us some funding during COVID to help us do some things. Attorney LaRuby May has supported us. So individuals support us. And we, again, a lot of it. Also our church. I do want to say my pastor, Kerry Pointer Jr. in the Greater Fellowship Church gives us the space, the supplies, all that we need, and supports us in a great way. That's the only way we would have been able to start. And one last thing, I just want to again thank Ms. Vera. She has been so instrumental, been there from day one, and her attitude was, we're not going to let you fail. So I thank her and Mr. Bobo and Ms. Hare and some others who rallied around us to make sure we were successful.
Nothing like giving those shout outs. Let me ask before we close, and I'll have one more question for Ms. Abbott, but are there, if someone is interested in finding a senior village in their community, be there in DC, Maryland, Virginia, is there a central place they can look to find out if there's a village that serves their community?
Yes, they can. They can go to the Department on Aging and Community Living. There's a map there. and it will show them exactly where the villages are. And also, we have a collaborative of villages in the city, and we have a website as well. And it's slipping my mind as I
But
think
what
about
about
that.
outside of the city? Let's say, because we have viewers that are in, Maryland or Virginia. How would they find their villages? Do you know?
Yeah, well, for the DC metropolitan area, I'm also a board member, as a matter of fact, vice president of the board for the village, so village-wide, our regional villages. So we have a wide website there, and I really apologize. I don't have that email address, that website address at the moment, but I can get that out as well. But that one shows all the Washington area villages that
Okay.
are available.
All right. Well, for those who want to know, we'll get that information for you and try to get it up before the show ends. So keep
Yes.
watching in order to get that. And Ms. Abbott, I just wanted to say to you really quickly, I know you are itching to say something as well, but I want to say that, you have handled the pandemic very well. You use your notebook. Now you got your iPad. The first message I ever got on Facebook in my entire life came from you. I was shocked, but I mean, that was what, 7, 8 years ago. And you sent me a note on Facebook, and I'm thinking, how does she know Facebook? And so, you've always been in front of the curve, and you've got a birthday coming up next month. You want to share which one that is?
Oh, I will be 88 June 11th. And I'm so proud to say the city will be opening up as well on June 11th.
And I know you can't wait.
Right, right. But you see, my darling daughter, you provided me with that Facebook. I had to learn how to use it.
Oh, well, you did that on your own, and you've done it well. And everybody that's your Facebook friend knows that you are very busy on Facebook, and please respond.
Okay. One thing I would like to
Yes.
add, if I may. I
Yes.
am Vera Rolark Abbott. I'm your
Right.
mother. And
Yes.
I was married to Dr. Calvin before he was a Dr. Calvin Rolark. I just
Yes.
want to put that on the record.
On the
And
record, make it
and
clear.
yeah, on the record. And my second marriage was to Abbott. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Well, I'm going to tell folks to read it in the book. Because the whole story will come out in the
Right.
book.
Right. I've
All
been
right.
writing that book since I came to Washington, D.C. in 1952.
That's
I've
right.
been writing that book. I still haven't finished it.
Don't worry, we'll get it done. Thank you. And maybe that's one of the jobs the Senior Village might be able to help with, is getting those stories told. And we'd love to work with you on that. So,
Oh, yes,
all
Miss
right.
Moses.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you.